Greetings, Twin Flames. This is Lucida of Twin Flame RX, and I'm here to bring you a February 2019 overview or reading or forecast, whatever you want to call it. Thank you for joining me, for liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing to this channel. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I am a Twin Flame. I met my divine counterpart. We were in union. We started this channel, and then he abandoned me. So basically, I've been working on this channel for the last 2 years and have been working full-time as a psychic intuitive tarot reader. You can find me on twinflamerx.com or the different sites listed below if you'd like to book a private session with me. I have over 30 years experience being an intuitive tarot reader, but I've been psychic all my life, and I've been tapping into my healing abilities a lot more since I have known that I am a light worker, and then even more since I met my twin and know that I'm on this twin flame journey along with all of you. So thank you again for joining. We're going to do a reading forecasting February, how it's going to go for all twins in all stages of their journey. They could find some information in this video, so if you're tuning in, just take the parts that resonate and leave the rest. We're going to start with this entry in the Zen calendar because I found it has a special meaning for us. I also have prayed, meditated, and drew some cards led by Spirit here for the Divine Masculine, Feminine. And then I have some Union Energy cards at the back over there that we'll end with, and I do a Reiki healing at the end. The other thing is I have tarot cards that I'm using, and that's going to be for the actual, reading and forecasting. All of the cards that I use will be listed in the description box below, so check that out for if you're wondering what the cards are. Okay, so we're going to start off again with this saying here, this quote. It says, "You yourself are your own barrier. Rise from within it," and it's by Idris Shah. So here's the thing. I saw this as February 1st, page, and wanted to do a February reading because I was guided, and then I saw this and I thought, wow, there's a lot of meaning that's going to come up in this video, so make sure to watch it to the end, and I'm going to empower you with some Reiki healing at the end as well. Now, it's basically saying that you're the obstacle, you're the blockage. You need to rise above that blockage, which you yourself, that means your ego, not your soul, not your spirit, not your heart, not that fire. It's your ego that's your, own worst enemy. It's your own obstacle. You're like self-sabotaging. And how are you doing this? Well, there's a variety of ways for each twin. It may be different. So, we can talk in a private session more specifically. Let's get into the reading though and see, maybe these blockages will be uncovered for us. What I'm going to do is shuffle the Sun and Moon Tarot by Vanessa deCort and ask Divine Source to give us a forecast of what's going to be happening with each twin and between the twins in the month of February 2019, and how are we going to progress on our journey. Whatever guidance and insights are available to us at this time would be much appreciated. So I haven't even figured out what spread I'm going to do, so Divine Source, please give me some insights on what the best spread would be for this question. Okay, so I'm just going to go as guided and do what Divine Source asks of me, and if I get any indication of what each place that I'm dropping a card means, I will give you that information as well. Okay, so first thing is that my indication from Source is look at the bottom of the deck and talk about that. Okay, so we have this Three of Swords, which we know is not a very pleasant card. It actually means heartbreak, it means sorrow, it means sadness, it means disappointment, it means loss, it means negative thoughts, it means a third party, it means, so many things that, aren't positive, but it definitely is mental anguish caused by this twin flame journey, caused by our own wounds that are unhealed, and we're not able to tap into that joy and another thing is the this year, we're here to manifest our union. We're here to create a third energy with our beloved. We're here to go on mission. So we need to turn this frown upside down, and I believe that's what Source is leading me to. So we're just going to go with the flow here. I'm guided to do a past, present, and future card for the Divine Masculine, for the Divine Feminine, and then for the Union. So I'm just going to pull the cards now, starting with Divine Masculine, recent past, present, and future, where things are headed. So, this could be what was going on in January, and then what is going on maybe presently and what was going on throughout February, or this could be within February, so maybe the exact, sequence of weeks doesn't match up, but the flow of energy should. So there's a flow of energy in the collective that's allowed waves to occur. And so, some twins caught the energy quicker than others, maybe because they were more receptive to it. Either they were on the path longer, or they just, were more open to this energy. So then they receive the energy, integrate it, and then make it a part of their being. So in that case, then, the energy might flow and trickle down and then show up as an action or a changed way of being later down the line. So everything starts with energy in the soul level, which is higher dimensional than 3D, and then it has to trickle down into this more dense being, which is this sometimes body that doesn't want to work or do, and the mind that doesn't want to think or talk, or think of solutions and just wants to be an ego. So it takes a while for things to occur, but the time or the series of events should be similar. Okay. So for the Divine Masculine in February, we're seeing that they are leaving behind, not really leaving behind, but they're taking inspiration into February that they received maybe in January. And it's interesting because this card here is the Aquarius card, the Aquarius sun sign, the card that's associated, and we are in the season of Aquarius. So it's interesting that inspiration occurred for the Divine Masculine recently, and they're bringing it in to this season of Aquarius with them in the month of February, which will then turn into Pisces season eventually. So we have going on now presently and in February, like a majority of February, looks like it's going to be dedicated to the Divine Masculine finding their inner truth. Okay, so the sword is about your inner truth. It's also a new beginning based on that truth. It's also a sign of victory, a new beginning because of a battle fought hard and won. So it looks like the Divine Masculine has been going through a process, a series of steps that brought them to this stage of spiritual awakening to feel illuminated. And now they're able to tap into their soul and into what it is that they truly desire in this life. And also maybe that they are finding out what their own mission is or what their own purpose is. And then also, because this is a twin flame reading, and because I do ask Divine Source when I do these readings to give us information about the Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine on their path toward their twin, this is also indicating to me that in February is going to be a time where the Divine Masculine has a higher sense of awareness and awakening to what their twin is doing in their life, and like how the two have helped each other thus far, even if there was pain, sadness, maybe lack of communication, maybe they're in separation. The Divine Masculine is realizing why they had all of those things go on. So this is really good because the Divine Masculine often is very logical, and they don't really, they think it's drama, a lot of what went on in the journey, and I do too, because I'm a more logical thinker. I'm an Aquarius, so I'm a Queen of Swords actually by nature, and I'm a Virgo moon, so I'm so meticulous, so I could kind of relate that this journey is dysfunctional. Like, it is not, but once you see past the dysfunction and see why it happens, Why did you have dysfunction? Because you had those unhealed wounds, and they started looping in your brain when you were a child. I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. That's a common one. Okay, and then you meet your twin, and this person is like the ultimate, the person that you want to be with, right? And you'll do anything to be with them. And that enthusiasm tells them, I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. Because you wouldn't have to work so hard for their approval. So I hope that resonates with you guys and you understand where I'm coming from, that the divine masculine are now seeing, hey, you know, that's true. I have my own unhealed wounds too. So if my divine feminine counterpart, you know, scared the crap out of me, thinking I was going to have to fill her every need and that void within her, well, I understand that I have one too. And the behaviors that I have been exhibiting probably would, if I did those to her, or if someone did those to me, I would feel the same way as she does or he does. So this is not gender specific. But basically what's going on is the divine masculine's having a higher consciousness opening. So they're understanding not only their side of the journey, but more about the truth of the divine feminine side and why she may or he may have acted the way they did. And that was because of unhealed wounds that both parties have, different ones. And nobody is ever truly 100% healed just to meet your twin or just to reunite. When you do get into union, you're going to find out that there may be some wounds you thought were healed, but still can be triggered depending on the situation. So you'll be healing those as well with your twin. So the divine masculine is kind of seeing this more and understanding it more as a growth process and understanding that there can be a new beginning because of this truth. So they are going to become more motivated and on a divinely motivated path with the 7, and they're going to fight for the union with their beloved, because the fight is a spiritual fight. So it's not like they're going to go and fight, you know, the divine feminine's male friends, or like, you know, whoever's in her life that's male or even female, but, you know, they're not going to physically fight, but they're going to fight the spiritual battle, which for divine masculine is to fight the fear. A lot of them have a fear of rejection. Whatever fear they have, they're going to fight that off. Their desire and fire in their heart is going to be stronger than their thoughts. They're going to be able to cut those looping patterns of, you know, I don't want to get rejected, I'm not good enough for her or him. They're going to cut those out. They're going to burn them out with that fire, and they're going to replace them with new patterns of thinking, like, I am strong, I am powerful. That's a big one. They need to feel powerful. That's why they do a lot of narcissistic things, because it's stemming from a lack of power, a lack of control. They didn't feel safe when they were children for some reason. Something happened. They witnessed something. All right, so basically divine masculine are going to be moving forward, and we have a few cards to help see things a little clearer. We start off with the the soul journey lesson card. No, this one's the soul journey lesson card, by Michele Buchanan, and then I have the soul journey lesson card by James van Praagh and a self-care card. So the soul's energy, or the 5D and above energy of the divine masculine, is kind of pushing the divine masculine to move toward freedom. Okay, so to be free of these broken records in their mind, free of their fears, free of their karmic situations, says, I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness. And remember, I said they need to feel powerful. So they're learning that. And I didn't even look at this card before. It's just, I am channeling what needs to be delivered to the most of you to help you this month. Okay, and in the 3D, the manifestation of the soul energy trickling down for the divine masculines in February is the surrender. And we have a 9 + 1, which is a 10, down to a 1. We're starting from nothing. So the divine masculine is ready to, give up everything. They're going to surrender. They're going to let the divine or their higher selves move them forward and take inspired actions. Okay, so that's going to move them closer to you if you're the divine feminine counterpart, watching for your divine masculine to see what they're up to this month. We have decisions here as a self-care opportunity for the divine masculine. So the divine is calling for divine masculines this month to honor their top priorities. It says if it's not an absolute yes, then it's a no. So they're going to have to learn how to prioritize their time and energy in order to be able to move toward the divine feminine, because a lot of them have those karmic situations or family and friends that like impinge on all their time. But if they want to be with the divine feminine in a union, they're going to have to make the decision to say no to some individuals who, you know, maybe are energy vampires. Maybe they're not a top priority. It's just the divine masculine is always used to saying yes to all these other things. But they know that they can't do this any longer because they're surrendering to the divine will, and they're going for this freedom, okay, which is freedom from all the childhood wounds. And not only that, but all the societal patterns and just all of the matrix stuff that we have been kind of programmed to believe is the way we're supposed to live. And that's what's kind of changing. The paradigm is shifting as we move into the new earth energy. Right, for the divine feminine, I'm going to shuffle again and ask divine source what the divine feminine are doing in February with the little past, present, and future action. All right, divine feminine. Recent past, we have the divine feminine. Yes, makes sense. Meditating, being the Hierophant, you know, trying to spread that light and love. And so taking that into February as well. So meditation is so important because it calms your mind, it stills your mind. And then, you know, you can actually just feel and allow things to come through. And when you do that, you're going to be divine feminines, tapping into that high priestess energy, that occult energy, that unknown, whatever it is about your union that you haven't manifested, you can work on manifesting. So that's awesome. And then as we end February, oh my gosh, so we have the same card that the divine masculine had. We're going to fight for this. So divine feminine, you know, you're going to be getting ready. You're going to sharpen your intuition and your spirituality. You're going to shift your vibration into the fifth dimension, and you're going to fight for that union, just like the divine masculine had that same card. So let's look at the other energies for the divine feminine as far as the soul's energy. The soul wants the divine feminine to understand that if any mistakes were made, they were only opportunities to learn. So failure is not a thing in 5D, because all these perceived failures are actually stepping stones to get you to where you needed to be right now. So if you feel you lost things in your life because of this journey, they were meant to be lost. It was a curse by design type of situation. We're going to be moving into divine feminines, more of our intuitive power. So in the 3D, that is what you're going to manifest this month. And you're going to be able to read your own situations a lot better. And we have that 2-2, and then if you add that together, it's a 4, and that's our 11-11, our union. So, you know, the divine feminine are really stepping into their own power, intuition matched up with those tarot cards with the Hierophant and the High Priest. And we had the 2 for the High Priest, so lots of 2s, lots of union energies. Now, how to get to a higher vibration, our self-care should be including gratitude. So say thank you. Experience the joy of acknowledging others. When you thank the universe, thank Source, thank the divine, thank your angels for all of this beauty in your life that you already have, you're going to be able to attract more. And when you thank the universe for bringing your twin in, even though it's been painful, but you're starting to understand that this is all a way of learning lessons, because being in love and that love, that bubble feeling, you want it back. And if you're going to be able to get it back because you worked on yourself and you healed all those unhealed wounds, that's why you get motivated to learn how to love yourself. And at the end, you kind of feel like me, where my final act of okay, well, this journey blows and I need to do something different, is I, told my twin, I gotta go. Like, you don't want the same things for the future as I do. I have this to do. I don't know what you're doing with yourself, but I'm leaving you with this, twin. I am here to help people. And no matter what you, say in response, how are you? I left him with the question, how are you helping people? Because I want him to open up to what his own mission is. And I believe that's going to lead him to me eventually. But, I'm not in any hurry because I have other stuff to do. So when you get into not even meeting your twin, that's when you know that your wounds are healing or healed. And for the most part, I'm still working on some things, but I actually, feel good because I was inspired by the divine to ask him, what is he doing? What is his mission, So I think now, that's what he has to work on, and I'm doing mine, so I'm good. All right, well, this is the unions cards, past, present, and then the future. Interesting, we had failure as a divine feminine. I feel this when I'm seeing this, that the divine feminine thinks that we failed or they failed because maybe they're not, in union or in a stage of the union that they want to be in by now. Don't feel that way, because the failure, that's your ego saying it's a failure, but your soul saying it's a lesson. In the recent past, for the union, things were starting to manifest in the physical for a lot of us, but then we experience a setback, a soul lesson. But we're moving forward fearlessly, and we're going to master our emotions. You know how to master your emotions is you master your thoughts, because your thoughts become things, which are emotions. So for the union this month, what you want to do is try to master your thinking. Because once you get rid of the negative thinking, like all of the things that you don't think your twin is going to accomplish, that's negative thinking. Instead, replace those thoughts whenever they come across your mind, like he'll never leave the karmic, or he'll never get a divorce, or he'll never come back. Replace that with he will come back. And maybe just a disclaimer whenever the divine sees that we're ready, in divine timing, right? People hate to hear that, but it really is when you finally let go and you move forward and you're not afraid of what happens. If the person's meant to be, they come back. Okay, so the last couple cards is a message from your beloved's higher self to you, and we'll do that and then talk about those. So this message is from the Toni Carmine-Salerno deck. Wow, we had this come up earlier. Power. You instinctively know what is right for you, and you have the power to say no or walk away at any time. And I feel like I need to say this because I've been thinking it, and I didn't know exactly how to say it before, but I'm feeling it, that you need to be reminded, the divine masculine or whatever, whoever your twin is, if you are the one that has always been the pursuer, the chaser, the one trying to get things going because you felt awakened to this connection and the other person maybe wasn't into it as much as you. Okay, basically what they're trying to demonstrate to you and me before I did walk away was you have the power to walk away or say no at any time. And that's what I did. I just didn't like the terms and conditions of my twin, what he was putting on this channel, the union, everything. I just said, we don't have the same view. I say no to that. And I walked away, and I knew that I need to walk away. He is not acting in integrity, and he's not being his truthful, authentic self. And I want to be, so I walked away. That is when you take your power back. When you don't settle for less than you know that you and your beloved can be together. You don't settle for just being an extra on the side. You don't settle for waiting for a year and crying, on top of all the other years you might have spent on this twin flame journey. You just decide, hey, today I'm going to be happy. Today I'm going to do my mission. Today I'm going to be a full person in myself, and if I'm not healed, I'm going to get healed. I'm going to do whatever it takes to get healed before anything else. That's when you take your power back. You don't chase after someone who's also unhealed and expect them to change. What you have to do is be the change that you want the world to be, that you want to see in the world. It translates right down to your twin. So I hope that inspired you and helped you see that this whole journey was meant that you would find yourself and the love you have within, meaning that you're not going to settle for a life of having that looping pattern in your brain that you're not good enough, and all that stuff going on, that you're going to clear all that. So you can be a blank slate for unconditional love. All right, we have a couple more cards here. The Kuan Yin Oracle by Alannah Fairchild and Archangel Michael Oracle here by Doreen Virtue. I chose these card decks because we have a divine feminine and masculine representative, a divine source, or an ascended master, if you will, or an angel. All right, so with the Kuan Yin, this is a message from our divine feminine energy. We have Princess of the Autumn Harvest. Princess of the Autumn Harvest brings gifts of bounty and blessings for efforts and actions of the past. It's a time when the fruit of your labors is ripe for the picking. A beautiful blessing is on its way to you now. With gratitude in your heart, you will recognize the blessing when it comes to you, and it will serve you perfectly. Be open to receive it, knowing that it is justly deserved. See, now you've done all this work, and yes, you are entitled to a blessing, and it's coming in February. And, just be open, welcome it. Don't be anxious and thinking so much. Try to clear your mind and just allow things to come to you. Ideas, insights, opportunities, people. This last message is from Archangel Michael. He is the protector of light workers and twin flames. I'm going to be sending some Reiki healing as I read this. Archangel Michael is letting us know that if there is an unhealthy situation in our lives that we may need to leave, which is interesting because it correlates with the message from the divine masculine or feminine's higher self, whoever your twin is, their higher self to you, about walking away. If it doesn't suit you, if you're not feeling respected, if you're not getting enough back from the situation. Okay, so it's time to leave this unhealthy situation if it is toxic. Archangel Michael, what parts of our lives do we need to focus on more closely right now? Thank you for helping us hear your answers and for giving us the courage to make healthy changes in our lives accordingly, so that we may step into our power that our divine counterpart so desperately wants to see us step into. When we step into that power, help us have faith that our divine counterpart will also follow suit, and we will be then in alignment with our higher selves and our soul plan and our divine union. So I'm sending you this Reiki healing for you and your beloved, and wishing you a very prosperous and a very soulful and a very loving and just an awesome February 2019. I will see you on a video very soon. Namaste.